I'm so thrilled today. I have a very, very special guest. I have a world champion competition cook-off champion chef in the building. Mr. Rusty, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I surely appreciate you inviting me on your show, man.
Oh,
Good
man,
stuff.
you know, man, I'm from the food background. You in food. It's like two kindred hearts. I mean, what can you do?
That's it.
You know, we got to come together. And we met each other on TikTok, then at the festival.
Right. It was meant to be, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm a foodie. Not only do I try to competition cook at least 3 times a month, I like to volunteer to cook and do things for others as well.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. Food is what? Probably the greatest way to give back, right? I mean, who gonna say no to food?
Absolutely. My grandmothers used to tell me all the time, when you meet someone, they need to leave you full and happy.
Most definitely, most definitely. And the thing about food, you get hungry every day again.
That's it, right?
You know,
Unless you're a big boy, sometimes it's multiple times a day.
Maybe 2-3 times a day, but
that's it.
You know, no matter what we ate today, we gotta do it again tomorrow or tonight or whatever.
Absolutely.
So, Mr. Roy, can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you grew up?
I'm from Holly Beach, Louisiana, where I was born and raised. We moved out of Holly Beach in '84 to Moss Bluff. Ended up at Sam Houston.
Okay. And you graduated from Sam Houston?
Graduated from Sam Houston. Ended up in Lafayette by way of UL Lafayette. Okay. Met my wife there at school. Been married 29 years now, and
good.
3 kids. We've actually taken in a couple kids along the way and adopted them and got them all on their own and out the house, and we kind of empty nesters now, man. So it's like we honeymooning all over again.
So are you enjoying the empty nest, or you miss the house full with everybody making noise? Or
I miss the house full. Growing up, man, I was the youngest, and didn't always have it so good. Our family life was rough, extremely rough.
A lot of kids.
So I was behind the rest, right?
Okay.
So most of them were out the house.
Okay.
Prior to me, I was home by myself most of the time.
Okay.
Mom and dad, bad alcoholics, never home.
Yeah.
Found myself as a kid home a lot sooner than I should have, and having to grow up a lot sooner than I should have. And so it was kind of fun when I became a parent and a dad, where I could raise this big family and break that cycle and have the whole family life and teach my kids how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, teach them right and wrong and be there and be involved in their life.
Absolutely. And but right now we're kind of starting over again with grandbabies, and so we got them at the house. I have 2 beautiful grandbabies. Hopefully more coming. We want a bunch of grandbabies.
Yeah, most definitely.
Grandbabies are way better than your own kids. That's
they always say, but I'm like, Mom, come on now. I'm your firstborn. I always been here.
I jokingly tell, because my daughter, she'll get upset. She's like, well, you never let me do this. You never let me do that. I said, well, you were never my grandbaby. So, yeah, I've been posting, and you follow me on TikTok, you see my oldest grandbaby's 4, and I got her black pot cooking and ready to go. She's always scraping the pot, and she just had her birthday party and pool party 2 weeks ago. And I said, baby, what do you want Pop to cook for your birthday? Gumbo for a pool party at 102 degrees. But let me tell you, when grandbaby asks for something, you just make it happen.
Oh, most definitely.
She helped me cook it. We made a whole cooking video.
I saw it.
Hit a couple thousand views quick on it's crazy. I would think I'm good looking enough to get some views, but no. When the grandbaby's in there, them views double quick.
Always.
Yeah.
So who you got it from? Your mom, your dad? Who had that love of cooking? Both of them, or
my dad? And it was directly his mother.
Okay.
My grandmother was excellent. My mom was an excellent cook. And she passed that on to my dad, and we were kind of, our whole generation was kind of flipped on. It was always the man in the kitchen.
Yeah.
My mom, rest her soul, she couldn't cook at all. She wasn't a very good cook. She would try, but she would feed us.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that good. It just was food, right? But my dad, man, he can definitely throw down with him when it came to cooking. And being a young fat kid that liked to eat, man, I just watched.
Oh, most definitely. And that's how I learned. I love to eat, and I watch them, and I started doing my own. I was in middle school, early middle high school. I started making my own Buddha and everything.
Right.
From watching my dad. My dad never said, "Hey, this is how you do it. This is a recipe." I just watch him like, I know how it's supposed to taste. I, mix some stuff in.
My first big purchase out of high school was a 10-gallon cast iron pot. That was my first big purchase, man. I was all proud of my pot, trying to, it was mine. I didn't have to borrow one.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Man, right out of high school, I was competition cooking, man, and absolutely loved it. But, I've been coaching youth football for 32 years.
Yeah.
So kind of being a coach, you had that competitive edge, right?
Oh, yeah, yes.
You were competitive. You wanted to win. So I think my love of food and coaching football, it kind of
go
just
hand in hand.
Yeah,
They go hand in hand.
And we were talking prior to the show about the key to successful cook-offs is preparation. Same thing coaching. You got to have your team ready before you go into battle, right?
That's any preparation work is the greatest work for any industry. If we're talking about business,
Foundation.
It's on everything. Be prepared. If we lose that battle, we're gonna lose the whole war.
It's like a buddy of mine said, you better have your cleats if you're not prepared, because you'll be chasing that pot all day long.
Oh, yes.
All day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we enjoy it. My wife, not so much. The older we get, she's like, can we just have a weekend off? So now I'm at that point where, you can have a weekend off, and then I'll schedule something, and she's like, you're going by yourself. Yeah, I'm good. I'll make it happen. But we enjoy it. Most of the cook-offs, either we shoot for large major competitions like the Jack Daniel's World Championships, the F5 Fin Feather Fur, which are the largest cooking competitions in our state. It's a series. There's one in New Orleans, Lafayette, Houston, and Colorado.
Okay.
And it's a fin, feather, fur, and dessert. So there's 4 categories in each one.
Okay.
Those are probably the largest overall cooking events. There'll be anywhere from 150 to 200 teams per event.
Oh, that's a nice size.
And you better bring your A game, because a lot of these companies, they're there for a presence, so they hire these people in. They hire chefs in, and things of that sort. So,
and how big of a team you need to do that? So if we was going out there tomorrow, how big is the team?
I'm blessed when it comes to the F5s, because I work in the oil field, so it's kind of run through our oil field company, Eaton Oil Tools, and we got a great staff at Eaton that kind of enjoys and loves to do it. So there'll be 4 or 5 of us. There's some events where there's 1 or 2 of us. Not many. We just did one. We just did the Lafayette one with 2 of us. So it was tough.
Because I remember when I was young and I needed money, like around 18 or 20, I go work the festival, set up a booth, I sell turkey wings and stuff like that. Me and my cousin, it'd just be 2 of us. And that was, I know we was young men, but man, that was a lot of work.
So look, I just did a festival in Natchitoches, the Zydeco Food Truck Festival. I left my house at 4 a.m. and got back home at 4 a.m. I did jambalaya, red beans, seafood nachos, and hot dogs by myself.
What?
I cooked it and served and worked. I had a 10 by 10 tent with all my tables in the back of me, my pots. I cooked and served and was ready to go. But I was prepped. I knew what I was doing. All my stuff was prepped. But,
that's a lot of work. People don't understand. That's a lot of work in the food industry.
When the festival shut down at 11, by the time I even was able to get a truck remotely close to pack up and load everything in my truck, man, I left that festival. It was after midnight, and then I drove from Natchitoches back to Lafayette.
Oh, man, you didn't take a nap in the truck?
No, I took off. Got home.
All right, take me about an hour or 2 nap in the truck. I didn't hit the highway.
I had another event the next day, so I got home that night, unloaded, and I had everything loaded, ready to go in a different trailer. So I got home, loaded up, unloaded, hooked the truck up, got me a few hours sleep, and took off to the next one.
Oh, man. So when you're doing these events, like, what's some of your favorite events to go to?
Black pot cook-offs, 100%.
100%?
And especially if it's broke down into categories or not. If it's broke down into seafood, non-seafood, sometimes it's anything over rice. The one I got next weekend is main dish, side dish, and dessert.
And that's a black
It
pot
has to be all
cook-off?
cooked in a black pot cook-off.
Oh, sweet.
I'll do the Dutch oven. I'll do for dessert. I'll do red velvet cinnamon rolls.
Okay.
In a Dutch oven, and then for the side dish, I'll do a seafood corn mok choux.
Okay.
And then for the main dish, I'll do a marinated pork and fresh pork sausage
Oh, that's gonna be
and
nice.
a rust-colored gravy.
That's gonna be nice.
But if it's just a straight one category, I'll do a shrimp, crab, and crawfish corn mok choux.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. I just came to Lake Charles and did the Rotary Club at McNeese.
Uh-huh.
And there was 700 tickets sold to go in, and we had like 600 and something People's Choice votes out of the 700 and something.
Well, you had 95% of the votes.
Yeah, we and then we won the Judge's Choice.
Oh, sweet.
I told him, I said, man, let's get our plaques and get out of here. They ain't gonna let us back in Lake Charles after
no.
this week. They ain't gonna let us back in.
You got to tell them, hey, man, I graduated down the street.
So the McNeese softball team was working our booth, and I got a bell that we got with our logo on it. It was off of a riverboat that was sunk in the river.
Okay.
And it was a brass bell. Somebody recovered it. It was handed down in their family where they just recently gave it to me. Man, we polished that thing up, and I got it on a stand that's got our logo, and then we put a bucket. It's got a stand for our bucket for People's Choice Awards for cook-offs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, every time we get a vote, they ring that bell. So I told these softball girls, every time we get a vote, make sure you ring that bell. Well, competitive as they were ringing that bell. Man, it aggravates anyone
everybody
and
else.
everyone
I
at the
know.
event. It aggravates them because they hear that bell, they're pissed.
Oh, yeah.
And
They
I
don't
told
like
them, I
that.
said, man, we got to get back to Lafayette. I said, these people ain't never going to send us an
they
invite
gonna
back to
jump
this
in
cook-off. Let's get our trophies and get out of here. But it was a good day, man. I really enjoy black pot cook-offs. Jambalaya cook-offs, I do it so much.
You still enjoy doing the jambalaya? You try not to do the jambalaya.
I do
That's
them all.
always your.
I do them all.
Okay.
Gumbo cook-offs, I try different things. Usually that gets me in trouble when it comes to judging. I'll try different things. The last one I did was in Lafayette. It was a large cook-off, but it paid off. I did smoked turkey necks in that bad boy. I had all of it in there.
Necks. Oh,
And my wife says, "What are you doing?" She goes, "You don't ever cook gumbo this way." I said, "Well, I'm trying to fit in." I said, I don't think it's gonna win unless I got turkey necks in this thing. I don't think it's gonna win if I don't add some black pepper and some axe, because my seasoning has no MSG,
Okay.
right? So I added accent, which is
yeah,
straight
yeah,
MSG,
yeah.
into the pot.
Yeah.
Into the pot. I said, I got it. And there was two categories: seafood and chicken and sausage. We won seafood and second place chicken and sausage out of all those teams. So,
sweet.
trying different stuff sometimes
But
pays
that
off.
was real smart because
Got to play to your
Lake
crowd.
Charles got a different taste, but it's all similar, but it's different. Lafayette, Opelousas, Iberia got one. You go to Baton Rouge, it's a different taste.
You start
go to
hitting
New
these cook-offs
Orleans.
around New Orleans, you better have tomatoes in your stuff.
And you go to like Homer and the Bayou, like the Bayou people, there's a little different too.
I'm going to throw this out there because I'm going to tag DJ Rhett in there. They can't cook in Homer. They can't cook in Homer. No, I got to let DJ Rhett know they can't cook in Homer. He knows. He'll throw that 337 and we go back and forth. So I'm going to tag him in this.
I got a nunk over there in Homer.
No, I know some good cooks down in Homer, man. I just got to give DJ Rhett a hard time.
Oh, yeah.
But it's funny, different areas, they all cook different.
Yes.
Some of my background with my grandmother, and some of them like to cook Creole.
Yeah.
Some like to cook Cajun.
Yeah.
I kind of
And
learned
they kind
both.
of depend on what dish it is. They will
Right.
kind of go back and forth depending on what.
So my best and my most winning black pot cook-off, people love it and they can't figure it out. It's a gravy, but it's not red and it's not brown. It's a rust color, and it's kind of a combination between Creole and Cajun.
Yeah.
Has some roux, has some tomato.
Yeah.
The tomato gives it a little kick, and they're trying to figure it out because it's not completely red, so they can't figure out what it is. But it's probably if people that have had my food over and over, and I ask them, hey, they're doing this and that. What do you want me to cook? They automatically say,
Go to that.
your gravy, automatically.
Okay.
It's just different.
Now, the way you just explained, that's the way you did it, or that's the way my mom and them did it?
That's the way my mom did it.
Okay.
Yep.
So my
I
mom
learned from
did
her.
it that way. Okay.
Yeah. And it's crazy because there's little tricks of that trade too. You
Yeah.
can't just put tomato sauce in there.
No.
There is only one kind of tomato sauce. I don't want to give this
No,
enough.
yeah.
But there's one kind that'll actually brown.
Yeah.
It'll brown. The rest will stay red. So
Yes.
there's only one brand that you can use that'll turn it. And I do that with my spaghetti sauce. So I'm
Yeah.
making homemade sauce. I got a spaghetti cook-off coming for St. Jude's at the end of the month.
Oh, sweet.
That's going to be interesting. It'll be my first spaghetti cook-off. We just
how
did our
many-
first wing cook-off.
How many on spaghetti? How much you got to make of that?
I'm going to probably make 20 pounds of meat
Okay.
in the sauce.
Okay.
So probably
And you gonna
probably a
do,
15-gallon pot.
You gonna do meatballs or you gonna do meat sauce? How you both?
Both. I'm gonna do a meat sauce,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna make some homemade meatballs and put them in that sauce. I like to put my meatballs in the sauce, just like a meatball stew. I know people, some of them got to brown them, some put them in the oven.
Yeah.
The problem, I put them right in the gravy and let them cook for an hour and a half.
Sometimes I brown it. Sometimes I put a gravy out, depending on how I'm feeling that
If you
day.
if you brown it in the oven, it gets hard, right?
Yeah. I only brown
And then
it.
all
I
your
do quick
flavor,
on,
where's all your flavor? Your flavor just drips in that pot.
Yes.
The pan.
I do
and
quick
stays
on
in
the
pan.
skillet on two sides so they don't break, and then I throw the grease in the pot.
Man, just set them down in there and put it on simmer. Your flavor from your meatballs will come out in your juice, and your flavor from your juice will soak into your meatballs, and
yeah.
it'll be perfect and tender.
Oh,
I had an
yeah.
old Italian woman taught me that, man. She said, "Man, you don't brown a meatball, you knucklehead." I said, yes, ma'am, and you just listen,
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
and learn. Now, if you got it too high, yeah, they'll break up.
Yeah.
But just turn it on simmer, let it roll.
All right. So tell us a little bit about that wing cook-off you just did.
So, Wing Wars of Acadiana, it's we have some wing sauces coming to market.
Okay.
So I
How
thought,
soon?
man, well, we're still out.
Okay.
We put it on hold.
Okay.
I signed a deal with Sam's and Walmart for our seasoning.
Oh, sweet. Big
So
timing.
we had to shift all our time, effort,
Oh, yeah,
revenue
to fulfill that order.
to make sure that's okay.
Yes.
So we had to put the stuff we were trying to come out. I say we were trying that was coming out.
Yeah.
We had Bloody Mary mix, but I have 3 sauces. I got a smoky bacon, which is incredible.
I bet it is.
Jalapeno aioli and a garlic parmesan that we have with our seasoning in it. Those 3 were coming out, and I got them on hold. I mean, they're all perfected. They're ready to go, just on hold. But Wing Wars of Acadiana, it's for the Saving Grace Project for homeless kids
Okay.
and homeless teenagers. I didn't know this fact, but in the Lafayette, Acadiana area, there's 2,800 documented homeless teenagers in the Lafayette,
no.
Acadiana area. Documented.
So you know there's a lot that's
So-
undocumented.
Right, correct.
Oh, man.
So I've been helping, once I found out what they do, I've been helping them with their project. So I wanted to do this Wing Wars, right? It's big, man. They got the whole WWE belts.
Oh, sweet.
And there's 20 plus teams there, but it's divided into amateur and professional categories. And the rules state if you're a professional, if you're a restaurant, a food truck, or a catering company, you're in the professional category.
Okay.
If you're a seasoning, sauce, or anybody else, you're in the amateur category.
Okay.
So I signed up for the amateur category, and we were ready. We were going to do boneless and traditional.
Okay.
And I got a call the day before and said, hey, I have an issue. I said, well, what kind of issue? He said, well, there's too many people complaining that you're in the amateur category because you competition cook all the time. I said, well, it's our first wing category. I don't own a restaurant or a food truck or a catering company.
I buy by the book.
Yeah. So I said, look, I'm here to compete, but I'm also here to raise money for the cause. If it'll help you, move me to the professional category. Well, they moved me to the professional category, and the professionals were complaining that they moved me to the professional category.
They can't be up,
And I'm
you
like,
know what I'm saying?
man, look, all the ones in the professional category own wing stores.
Yeah, they can't
all
they
on
can't
the back.
lose.
And all the ones that own wing stores are on the back of winning that competition.
Yeah.
They've won that competition and opened a wing restaurant because of winning
yes,
that competition.
yes.
Or a wing truck. And these guys are
this ain't special. This is all they do.
And this is what they do. They research and development and cook wings every day. That's what they do. So I said, my wife said, I told her, and she's like, Rusty, let's just go there and compete. Whatever happens, happens. So we did. We did 1,500 boneless and 1,500 traditional wings. We had a team of 6 of us, and 2 on the fryer. Me and another gentleman were in the middle, and my wife and his wife served the crowd in the front. Okay. And we never stopped. We had to do something else too. So we did fries, and we did bacon wrapped hot dogs with my wing sauce.
Okay,
those 2 were kind of a sale for the fundraiser for them. Okay, and then the wings, and so we never stopped cooking all day. But we ended up winning the boneless category and the traditional category.
You took first on both?
I took first in both over all the professionals. And they even tried to get us on the voting and the raising money. We were the championship in that category as well. We won all 3 championships.
Lord, you won it all.
And they were trying to get us. ATF Bistro, man, those guys do an incredible wings, burgers, sandwiches. Mm-hmm. They're good at what they do. And he and I become friends over the years. So he got his whole staff of like 20 on their team for this Wing Wars to come over there with all their money, and they tried to buy all the wings we had. That way we couldn't give any to the public for the People's Choice vote. I got some pictures of him and his wife, and his wife came and said, you got my People's Choice vote. She was voting for me over her husband. And so I guess they thought we didn't know what we were doing, or even though it was my first wing competition, man, we were ready for the public.
Oh, most definitely.
So they bought everything we had on the table in the warmers. But the minute they walked off, I already had all these ready to just reload. So I reloaded, and man, the line was right back up, and we were slinging, and all he could do was shake his head, and then we just reloaded the box.
Oh,
you know, we had 2 stages where you fry them, you cook them, and we left them unsauced.
Oh yeah.
And then for the competition, we had 3 sauces. We had the smoky bacon, the jalapeno aioli, and the garlic parmesan. So we had 3 warmers. And then we would just take from what was cooked, whatever they needed. They would holler, we need more of this. We sauce them and dump them in that warmer for them. And when they would run low, we would fill this. When that run low, we filled it from the fryer. Yes. And, man, we had a system down. But, we won every category, man. It was, that was good times.
That's amazing. Man. That's amazing.
It was good times. So, yeah, professional or not, man, it was good times.
All right, so what about my favorite is doing whole hogs. Do you do any whole hog competitions or what?
I've done one, and it was actually here in Lake Charles at the Civic Center. It was years ago, right after the Saints won the Super Bowl.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Mike McKenzie. Yeah, it was a while back. I'm a diehard Saints fan, so yeah, I know it's been a drought. But Mike McKenzie was doing a fundraiser here at the Civic Center for his charity that he had, and. So we came in and we did, me and 2 other buddies, we did a whole hog, shoulder, ribs, and anything goes. Butt, ribs, anything goes. There was 5 categories. We ended up winning all 4 categories and the overall grand championship of that cook-off. But I did a whole hog. That was my first attempt at a whole hog. Mm-hmm. Now, Hogs for a Cause is your largest hog cook-off. It's in New Orleans. We've been wanting to get into this cook-off for a long time. There's a waiting list to get into Hogs for a Cause. You just can't just go enter.
Okay.
And it's all about raising money for pediatric brain cancer.
Okay.
We were told unofficially there was 4 spots opened up for this next coming year.
25 or 24?
25.
25, okay.
24 just happened.
Okay.
And they gave us, everybody, 1 month. There was like 30 or 40 teams on a waiting list for these 4 spots.
Oh, wow.
They gave us 1 month to raise money for pediatric brain cancer, and the top 4 out of those 30 teams to raise the most money was going to get a spot. And in 1 month, we raised over $50,000. Our team did to get one of those spots for 2025.
Thank the Lord. That was a lot of money in 1 month.
So we're We're in. From what I was told, we're in for 2025.
Okay.
We got a few business owners and restaurant owners in Lafayette. This is a large team. One of our fundraisers was a barbecue plate lunch.
Okay.
We probably had 20 guys on this team at this plate lunch thing. And if you've been around competition cooking and you look around, all 20 of us compete against each other on a regular basis. All 20 of us have our own teams, and we've all could win any competition at the drop of a hat. So it was really a cool thing to see everybody drop their ego.
Yeah, and come together.
And everybody got a cause and pull together for this. There was nobody complaining about, well, my rice dressing is better. Let me cook mine, or mine is this. Everybody had a job to do. We just did it and got it done.
Oh, sweet.
We have a couple more fundraisers coming up that we're still. So now anything, it's big on fundraising of where your booth's located. Make sure if you raised enough money, you keep your spot at their event. It's really cool. Now, your fundraising doesn't have anything to do with the cooking competition, right? They got whole hog. They got shoulder. We're having a whole hog cooker professionally built from a guy up around Alabama.
Okay.
He's coming in with his smoker. I'm not going to be on the whole hog team.
Okay.
What I asked to do is we also have to cook stuff for sale at the event.
Yes.
And one of the things that we have to cook, and it's also part of the competition, is a chicken wing category.
Oh, sweet.
So they were like, hey, man, you just won Wing Wars.
Let's get it.
That's a good fit. And I'm like, I'm in. I'll take the
get it,
wing stuff. So we're so many of us, and we're all really good at what we do to where we can break up and do certain things. There's a dessert category. Man, there's a guy, Buddy Powell, out of Lafayette. Man, I couldn't even look at a fig. I wasn't a fig guy.
Oh, I love
this
fig.
guy come up with a fig cake recipe and a glaze that'll it's incredible. So he's going to take the dessert part of it. Somebody else is doing, you got to do a pork pourri, which is anything other than your traditional, anything other than the categories there. Yeah. Ribs. We got two guys that are going to be on the ribs. You got to do shoulder. It can't be that.
We're gonna take that hog head.
Well, we are right now research and development. But they were making a dumpling with fried pork and a dumpling, and with a special glaze on the dumplings. Man, I think it'll be hard to beat that.
Oh, pretty. Man,
but he's
good.
They're working on it. We have two guys on the team that are doing kind of handling the anything other pork deal. Your dessert has to have blue plate mayonnaise in it, so he's trying to figure out how to incorporate blue plate mayo with a fig cake. We're gonna see. I do know Tabasco sponsors the wing competition, and you have to have some sort of Tabasco.
Well, that's easy though for that with the wing.
Yeah, just a lot of vinegar. Vinegar clashes with my sauce, but it doesn't have to have a lot.
You got a whole lot. I just ate one drop. But, we in there.
I think that smoky bacon's gonna go good with a little bit of Tabasco. I'll use their smoky. They got
you got the smoky
Tabasco.
Habanero, I think. Is it?
Might be Chipotle.
Chipotle, yeah.
Smoked Chipotle. I'm going to use that with a little bit of my sauce and kind of combo the two and figure it out.
Okay. Well, talking about Tabasco, I like to give you my hot sauce as a gift. But also, since we talking about that, I get to ask you a spicy question.
All right.
Now, we both know, as being in food,
right?
We can beat anybody in almost every category.
Right.
But is anybody who you feel can really beat you or is a better cook than you?
Chance Rion. I could tell you right now, this guy's from the Lafayette area, works for Supreme Oilfield Services. We go head-to-head all the time in these oilfield cook-offs.
Okay. So that's your rival.
Well...
Friendly rival.
It's very friendly because he'll buy black pots from me if I got one I'm getting rid of. He'll come get it, and we truly like each other. I mean, we both got that respect. I'll say when it comes time to cook-offs, people are like, man, who you think? I said, man, Chance over there. They won the World Championship Gumbo Cook-Off in New Iberia last year because I wasn't competing in it. No,
that's the only way.
But no, man, he's got that pride, man, that he'll take 100%, and he's extra. He'll go overboard when it comes to presentation, and he'll make people cry. I was telling you, your prep work prior to an event and your last 15 minutes before judging is that's where you win or lose. And he's like me. He'll make people cry that's trying to help him in that last 15 minutes. I got people that'll go to my wife and say, man, I didn't know he was that mean. He's always so sweet. He's always so sweet. And man, they'll walk away crying because I'm like, hey, man, don't touch this. Don't touch that. Oh, yeah. When I got a judge's prep table, when it's time for the judging, we just did the Crab Festival in Holly Beach, and I had my table. We had 4 categories to get ready for the Crab Festival: appetizer, side dish, entree, and then dessert. They all had to be crab except the dessert. But my rule was, if it's on this table, back away and don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
When we're done with that category, I'll move it to a different table, and you can eat all you want. I don't care. It's over with then. It's done with to the judges. Yeah. But don't eat off the table until I tell you it's okay. But, yeah, man, Chance is shout out to Chance. He prepares. He don't take shortcuts. He does everything the right way. And sweet. He's good, man. He's really good at what he does.
Oh, good. So now, Rusty, how can people keep up with you, or if they want to buy some seasonings from you, where can they follow you? Or
we have a website, rustyseasoning@yahoo.com.
Okay.
Our Facebook page, Rusty Seasoning for Every Stuff. I'm always posting a lot of content on there. TikTok is just Rusty Seasoning.
Okay.
With an S, Rusty's. So there's 2 S's in there touching. Our Instagram is Rusty's _ seasoning. Okay. And all our social media, man, they're all linked together. Okay. We like to do cooking videos and shows.
I know you're very active on social media, so people look out, they're going to be able to find you.
Rusty Seasoning, and we pop up.
And do we have a deadline when we go on to Walmart, Sam's, or not yet?
We're finished all the paperwork. Mm-hmm. I have my vendor number. Okay. We're looking at the first truckload should be the 1st of September, so the end of the month. So, I ask for, I can kind of set the deadline. I ask for some time, to get product and all ready. It wasn't like we just had that much product sitting on the shelf.
Yes, and we all through the state of Louisiana.
We're going to start in Louisiana first, and then branch out from there. It'll be Walmart and Sam's, and then from there we branch out. At that point, come September when we start, any Walmart or Sam's can request it, and it would be delivered and on their shelf. Once we get that vendor, once we got our vendor ID number, we can be in any one that's requested. But I ask for a target area to start. Yes, obviously, you don't want to just send this stuff up north and those people don't know, good food and get slapped down. But
most definitely.
But so first part of September looks like we'll be ready to roll.
Coming real soon.
It's coming.
By the time we drop this, it'll be right on time.
Right. Yeah. And then Market Basket. We just picked up Market Basket, so we'll be in all the Market Baskets here.
And the ones in Texas too?
Texas and here, correct.
Yes.
Mostly East Texas.
Yes, East Texas, Beaumont area.
We've had our final meeting with H-E-B, so we're hoping to get in the H-E-B stores. Rouse's has been tough, man. I got 6 managers trying to get me in their stores.
What's the whole?
And I don't know. We've had a meeting. And they're like, well, we're going to work on it. We're going to work on it. And so we're hoping that we break in with Rouse's. I was told once we're in Walmart, the rest of the chain stores are going to ask.
I mean, when you got the giant, everybody else going to
come. We thought that was going to be the end result.
Yeah.
The end result is Walmart and Sam's, and then look what happens. That's really our first chain store that we got the contract with.
Well, they make billions for a reason. They
Right.
know. They know who to go get.
I hope, man. I hope.
They know who to go
we
get.
Trying. But just like you had given me the hot sauce, I want to make sure you have a can of
thank you.
of Rusty's, and we have two. We have a regular and we have a more spice.
Okay.
Both.
And this is the regular one right here?
That's the regular. Both.
That's a handsome guy right there.
Yeah, that's what sells. I like to think, but my wife said I should have put the grandbabies on the cover. We'd have done been millionaires. But I agree.
Probably so.
I agree.
So.
But all our seasoning, no MSG.
Okay.
Lower sodium than most.
Yes.
We're about half of the sodium as the green can that you see on the shelves.
Good.
And then our black can is a little more heat. It's called more spice.
Okay.
Little more heat, little less salt. Instead of just adding a lot of spice to the blue can, we backed off on the salt a little bit, brings it up. And then when you're competition cooking, you can adjust that salt level a little bit more. You have a little bit more control of it, adding or taking out.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. So I sure like thank you for tuning in today on this episode. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Bayou Tech, for all your digital and marketing needs done. Guillory's Famous Food, home of the Creole style cooking. Executive Builders, construction for commercial and residential needs. All treat you like family. And
Rusty seasoning for every stuff. I mean, we out there. Come try it for yourself, guys.
Coming
See
soon.
what the hype's all about.
Coming soon to Walmart near you. Thank y'all. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe.